my URL resolver. I'm inheriting from Sitecore Link resolver, and I'm overriding the get item URL method. From here, I'm calling the override item URL pipeline. So in that pipeline, I showed you before, I have two processors. So this one, for me, it's really easy.
I didn't get that.
I have the get item URL method in which I'm looking for ancestor that it's not my page anymore. It's not a bucket. You can see in here the website that probably everybody knows, which is the Sitecore Habitat at Home. So under the computers, in my case, imagine we have more than 100 computers. So I created a bucket where I put when I created a pages. So for example, in here you're gonna see this website. So the URL I would like to have actually from that website is this one that I created, like a small tool, so to help the content editors to see what's going to be the generated URL. So as you can see, I have a parent computer / this page in the bucket. So implementation is really easy for that processor, for that URL. I'm going to show the all ancestors until I'm going to find a page with a layout, or I can have a partial template, which is, for example, the bucket parent. You can put your own logic. The URL for me, it's going to be exactly what you see in here, my page name and the parent in here. So let's go to my implementation. You can ask myself why you're using the display name, because I'm the multi-language solution. So having the link resolver is just like a first part of your work, actually, because now is just how you links looks on your website created by Sitecore. So if you see that the page, actually I referenced my page as a link, Sitecore automatically generated that link that you can see on the left corner. This is my custom URL. Now the next step is to help Sitecore to resolve that thing. So once we have the links are generated the way we want to, now we have to help Sitecore to understand those links. So usually we adding a processor in HTTP begin pipeline. So we have to implement our link resolver. So how it works in HTTP request begin, we have to add our request item resolver. So what I did in our cases, I added actually two different pipelines, because probably those guys who already did the link resolver in the past with ASP pages, they saw that MVC pipeline is setting back the item context to something else. So we need the check item resolved process to set to tell to MVC, actually my item has been resolved. Don't do it once again. So I was wondering before, with my first SXA implementation, if SXA is doing something similar that I have as well. Is they not setting the Sitecore context items once again? So good news, they don't. So really quickly, this is my custom link resolver. In here, so I'm looking for with the search. It's really easy. So In the HTTP request processor, I have link item resolver that inherits from HTTP request processor. In here, in my case, I'm looking if my item, the process, it's a star. I will explain in a minute why. If this is the case, I know exactly that I'm looking for my custom URL page. So I'm using Sitecore search to find that page in the parent when I have that star, and then I'm putting this flag custom item resolved. So later, that later in the MVC pipeline, I'm not gonna try to resolve it once again. If you ask yourself why I use the star, let me just show you my implementation. So long story short, in here, since I'm in the multi-language solution, it was really hard to check if my case the HTTP request comes for the custom URL, because in the multi-language solution, we're using display name usually for the URL. So imagine all the combination that we have for the same path in different languages. So long story short, in here, Sitecore is doing a half of job for me. So the URL to the computers, this is all making. Then VDD doesn't exist under the computer node. So Sitecore automatically resolves this to the star item. And this is it. In my solution in here, I know that if my item, context item, has been resolved to the star, I know I have to put my custom logic. So I'm flagging this. I'm changing the context item for that one from search. I'm putting that flag, and that's it. Everything works. So let me show you just to prove you that exists. So VDD computers. Let me click on that link. Sorry, I'm in the experience editor mode. Hello, VDD. So the next topic I would like to talk is about caching. This one, the thing in here I'm gonna talk about it is it's more about it's gonna be more about the demo. So to enable caching for your site in SXA, you have to select an option in your website. So let's open the SXA Site Manager. And I'm gonna open my my site. And under the flags section, cache HTML. So this is just to enable the caching. Then we have 5 ways to set up the caching in SXA. So first thing first, we can set caching options on the globally for a specific rendering. So let me go to the Sitecore layouts, renderings, feature, experience, accelerator, I can pick any of the I can take a promo. So I can set up the caching on that level. So I can put this component as cacheable with all those variation. As well, I can after that override this caching option as well on the site level. So this is like a general rule, but I can go under my website, presentation node, cache settings. So I can create a lot of caching settings with different values, where I can choose the renderings and change the option that you saw before. Next level that overrides the caching options. I can do it as well on the placeholder settings. So I am already in the in experience mode. Let's go to a container. From here, I can use the opening the placeholder settings. Let's say I have one. I want to edit, and here you see the caching options. And then so I can have like a specific caching options just for all the components in that placeholder. And the last level of caching, I can change it for the component itself. So let me go to that specific promo component. From there, edit components properties, and there you go. We see all the same caching options. So which is really neat. It's really easy to define the caching on every level. SXA already works on that here. So I showed you the 5 ways how we can set up caching at SXA, but now what about those old good Sitecore tricks? So for people that remember admin page, we have rendering statistics page when you can see all the statistics about renderings. So for example, let's imagine this is your rendering, your custom rendering that you created. On that line that you see, this rendering has been requested 3 times, but never from cache. That means when in your caching options, you forget about it. So this statistic page still working for SXA. This is a good thing to, once you think you set up everything like it should be, to go back and make sure that all the components are cached. Now about required login. In my recent project, I have a requirement that for a reason that I don't know why, they couldn't do the. They wanted to protect CM website from public access. So there probably is a lot of the way of doing that with Azure or on the infrastructure level. But in our case, I needed to set up this quickly with just configuration the day that we discovered that we have our bridge. So I was thinking about the old Sitecore required login option that we have in the on the site definition level, when you can say required login to true. But it's a little bit different with Sitecore 9 when you have as well identity server. So let me tell you what we have to do. So think first the URL login endpoint change its format. In that you can find all those breaking changes in the URL that you see in the Sitecore documentation, understanding site codification behavior changes. And if you're going back to your SXA site manager, you have to put as the properties for your site 2 things. First of them is the login page. As you can see, the path is exactly what I put on the right. So /identity/login, your SXA site name, site identity server. The second thing is just to put the required login property to true. almost there. So for my website, I added those two additional parameters, but it's not enough. So first thing first, you have to tell your Sitecore instance on the CM or CD that you have a website that's gonna use entity provider. So as you can see, I added my entity provider per site mapping, and I put my site name. It must be the site name that you just saw it in the in SXA Manager. The next step on identity server, you have to modify Sitecore identity server host XML file. When you have make sure that your website URL is listed in here. I added every URL per config, but you can keep it only one and use the pipelines to list them in only one. So actually, my recommendation would be to have, if you have more than one SXA website, all the URLs related to the same website listed in one mapping entry, separated by pipelines and the other websites in here. So thank you everybody for your time. I hope you enjoyed my session, and you're gonna know what to use the old Sitecore trick that we're doing over the time for all those years, and they still working with SXA.